Welcome to the Instagram stories for Tuesday, October 10th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. We are going to do Mosseri Monday, but I'm going to be honest with you. The audio on these clips has to be the worst audio I've ever heard. I understand that as CEO of Instagram, Adam Mosseri has to travel a lot, but recording on a plane while the engines are on is a terrible idea. I'm not saying that I'm a great audio engineer, and I'm not saying that I'm great at doing things audio related, but number one, I know when something is not a good environment for recording, and number two, I do know how to remove background noise using the tools that are available to me. However, I can't seem to do it very well with these clips. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pick the top 3 ones that he discussed in this Ask Me Anything. I'm gonna play the audio. I'll probably have to say what he said over again, which is terrible, just so you can get the gist of it though. And then we'll move on to other news topics because I wanna cover other things. Let's get right into the first question. Instagram on iPad, when? Let's just start off by saying that Instagram has been available for almost 13 years at this point. If there has not been an iPad app in that time, there will never be an iPad app. They ship features faster than any other company ever in the history of companies as far as I've ever seen. Here's his answer.
Now I'm working on it right now. I think it's a good thing to do at some point, but we have only so many people working at Instagram, so we got to pick the most important thing to do to improve Instagram at any given moment. And right now it's not quite making the cut.
Were you able to understand that audio? Basically, he said it's not a priority. The next question has to do with hashtags. Maybe you think hashtags are worth using now, maybe you don't. Instagram historically had said you could use up to 30 per post, but then in the last year or two, they had said that the right amount was 3 to 5 hashtags per post. I personally cannot tell you the last time I searched for anything on Instagram using hashtags, but in the beginning, because that was the only way to find anything on Instagram, they were such a key component. Here's the answer to the question, do hashtags in posts help with ranking?
Not significantly, if at all. I do think it's good because it means that your posts can show up on hashtag pages and in searches, but in terms of overall ranking, it's negligible at best.
I could barely make out that answer, but it was essentially hashtags don't help that much. The next question is one that I'm actually shocked by the answer, so you're gonna like this. The question, do Instagram Reels include replays in my play count? I would have answered by saying yes, replays are counted because you might watch a short video that's funny, maybe if it's 5 or 8 seconds, you might watch it 2 or 3 or 5 times if it's that funny. I would assume that the replays counted. However, Adam Mosseri says no, but they're changing. Here's the answer to the question, do IG Reels include replays in my play count?
I don't believe it currently does, but it should because that seems to be the industry practice, so we are changing it if we haven't just changed it.
So there you go. He says they are changing because that is the industry standard and they may have just changed it to support that. Shocked that that's the answer. I really did not see that coming. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some X news. X is also known as Twitter. Do I say that often enough? And also a new service that I think you need to know about. So stick around. Are you ready to monetize your social posts and ride the instant shopping trend? Check out BecauseILoveIt.com, known as Billy. I've connected with them recently, and I'm loving their vision to empower influencers. Whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform, Billy is where you can create your own online store to feature products you love. The best part is that brands reward you with a commission on every sale. Easy as that. Visit BecauseILoveIt.com/Daniel Hill to join Billy and get $100 in free credits to share with your audience. Head over to the link in the show notes to learn more and sign up. Welcome back. Now let's get into some news. I wanted to do more Mosseri Monday, but just the audio quality was just too terrible and I couldn't do it. Twitter, also known as X, is looking to launch new tiered premium pricing packages. This is something that I covered recently on the show where Elon Musk had said, quote, the single most important reason that we're moving to having a small monthly payment for use of the X system is that it's the only way I can think of to combat vast armies of bots, end quote. There's a user on Twitter whose name is Aaron, and he did some reverse engineering of the Twitter app's code, and he was able to discern that X Premium will be broken up into 3 specific tiers. The first one is called Premium Basic. This will have full ads in the experience. The second option will be Premium Standard and will have half the amount of ads as Premium Basic. And then the third option, Premium Plus, which will have no ads whatsoever in the X experience. Okay, let's give this news a little bit of context. Other social media platforms are also exploring ad-free subscriptions, including Meta and TikTok. The Washington Post had reported this, and I believe I did cover it on the show. This move toward paid ad-free access could align with EU rules on data collection, which require social apps to offer a means for users to opt out of data tracking for personalization, if the user wants to. By providing a paid option, that could enable each company to keep using the data tracking tools, because then users would technically have a way to opt out by paying. This brings the question, would you pay for this level of experience? I personally hate ads, but I would have to think that the amount would have to be $5 a month or less for me personally, depending on how much I use the platform. I hate ads, and I'll say that with my dying breath, but I am open to paying a few dollars a month, not an excessive amount, and I'm not paying for every single platform a different amount. I would pay for that for one platform maximum, probably TikTok, maybe Instagram. I'm not paying for it for Twitter. I just don't use Twitter enough, so to me, it's not worthwhile. But if you use Twitter more than anything, maybe you would pay $5 or $12 a month or whatever that cost ends up being. That is going to do it for today's episode. I have more that I want to cover, but I'm just out of time. Thank you so much for listening. I'm actually going to be traveling for the next few days, so there may not be a show. I'm going to try to do one if I can. If you want to do a show, send me a direct message. I'll hook you up with all the details. I can upload it for you. If there's news you want to cover or other social media topics you want to talk about, send me a direct message and let's make it
Instagram news got you covered. Sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave. Without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads. At Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.